What's up, guys? I'm Mike from StockedUp, and welcome back to the Stocks with Mike and Tom show. We had a pretty crazy day in the market today with Tesla falling 7% and the NASDAQ down about 2.5%. So we had a pretty wild day. In this episode, we're going to be talking about why the market fell today and what stocks we're watching for the rest of this week. We have a pretty crazy option. At the end of this video, there was about $78 million put into this option. So make sure you guys stick around to the end of the video. And we have a lot of pretty solid setups forming in the market right now. So definitely stick around to the end of the video. And if you aren't subscribed already, don't forget to subscribe. Tom and I post brand new videos every single day. But Tom, let's get right into today's video.
Congress is struggling to reach another consensus for a round of coronavirus relief as unemployment benefits and eviction moratorium are set to expire. And CNBC reports that top Republicans are pretty much accusing Democrats today of not accepting a $916 billion bill that they proposed because there's not enough unemployment benefits in there. And we're not trying to get political or anything at all, but that's the main reason why we saw a lot of red come into the markets. And you can really see that pretty much directly from open here on the SPY, we just started seeing a ton of red come into the market and a whole bunch of stocks started falling, like Apple, Salesforce, and even Facebook fell on some other news that we're going to talk about in a little bit. But it was just crazy to see this market fall off of this political news. And it's just a pretty big thing. You know, they're trying to get this bill passed and we just keep seeing fighting and just more fighting. So I'm pretty skeptical if we're going to be able to get this, passed at this point by the end of the year.
Yeah, we all know how politics are. They're Democrats, Republicans are always going back and forth, always fighting. And we are at all-time highs right now in the market. And the market really wants to see a stimulus deal. But with these Republicans and Democrats going back and forth, it makes the market a little bit more uncertain that we aren't going to get a stimulus deal.
Yeah, it makes it really choppy as well. Just like we can see today, yesterday we flew up and hit highs, and then now this morning we just tanked all the way back down to lows of a few days ago. So it's just making for a pretty choppy market, and it's going to be pretty hard to trade if they keep fighting like this and the market just keeps going up and down or starts going sideways.
Absolutely. So what happened with Facebook?
Facebook actually got a couple of lawsuits coming at him today, and the FTC and a coalition of attorneys generals from 48 states and territories filed two separate antitrust lawsuits today against Facebook. And the lawsuits target two of Facebook's major acquisitions, which are Instagram and WhatsApp, which are pretty big for Facebook. And Instagram and WhatsApp are some of the biggest apps out there right now. And they're seeking remedies for an alleged anti-competitive conduct that could result in requiring Facebook to divest the two apps. So Facebook might actually have to get rid of Instagram and WhatsApp if these lawsuits end up playing out. But you can really see how this affected Facebook this morning. And they really ran up, to start the day. It seemed pretty good. And then this news dropped and they just really started tanking off.
Yeah, Facebook had a pretty bad day, but the market also fell too. So it's definitely some interesting news, and I'm definitely going to have my eyes on it on Facebook for the next couple days, because this news, it definitely has the power to do some damage. So let's get right into today's Discord member of the day. Today's member of the day is Dr. Mel 10. So he made a great post in the Profits channel saying, Fastly and Plug saved the day. The bot counter knows its stuff. So you can see that he posted a screenshot yesterday too, made about $600. So great job, Dr. Mel. So thank you so much, Dr. Mel, and thank you for sharing a bunch of positive things in the Discord chat for the past couple days. So let's get right into today's momentum plays. And the first one is Microsoft to the downside.
Yeah, and Microsoft, we saw a lot of downwards momentum on them today, and just tech stocks overall make them fall below 211.
All right, with the next one, we have Apple.
AAPL, make them go ahead and fall below 121, and this is a very good setup.
Okay, and then we have 3M.
3M, yeah, this one's actually to the upside. I was pretty surprised to see them going up with a lot of the other stocks going down, but make them pass above 175.64.
All right, and then last but not least, we have PayPal, but this one is to the downside.
PayPal. Make them fall below 209.25.
Sounds good. So we're watching Microsoft, Apple, and PayPal potentially to the downside only if they can break below the levels Tom listed. And then we are watching 3M to the upside if it can break above the level Tom listed. Obviously, we saw Microsoft, Apple, and PayPal have a pretty bad day today as the entire NASDAQ had a pretty bad day. Like I said, down about 2.5%. So it's definitely not a good sign. And speaking of the tech sector, Tesla had a horrible day, down 7%, but they've just been running up so much recently that I felt like this was kind of inevitable. With Tesla, for the unusual options activity for today, there was $78 million put into the Tesla 650 strike call options that expire this Friday. So 2 days away. Looking at this, I mean, Tesla is such a volatile stock and it's only $50 out of the money, but just looking at the movement Tesla had the past couple of days, my first instinct would be to say that they are shorting these options, but not a naked short, rather a covered call. I feel like, to be putting this much money into an option, and because Tesla is up so much, I mean, I would just have to say that they're shorting these options because they are $50 out of the money and they expire in 2 days. And Tesla already had such a huge run up over the past couple weeks, but at the same time, I don't think they would be like a naked short. So, what are you seeing?
Yeah, definitely. I think that they're definitely doing covered calls on this for sure. I definitely wouldn't think that they're longing calls, especially after that share offering. And Elon Musk said that the shares are going to be coming, being sold from time to time. So just keep that in mind. So nobody really knows when it's going to happen. But you can really see, this was right where they announced the share offering. This was the morning, and then the stock actually pulled back. And now today we saw a big, pretty big drop out of Tesla and the overall market. So I think that, we should have a lot of eyes on Tesla right now, especially with puts to the downside, just because of that share offering. I think a lot of guys are really going to be watching this, especially with that offering, just because, in the past, generally Tesla has went down off of these. And if I go to the daily chart, you can see that back in September, like we talked about a little while ago, Tesla had a few red days after that initial offering. So I would expect Tesla to possibly start to pull back here.
I wouldn't doubt it. Looking at how much they've been up so much, seeing the NASDAQ fall, and then plus this offering, it's kind of like the exact setup as last time. So right now it's looking like Tesla should go to the downside, but we'll definitely see what happens. With the comments from the previous episode, we have Whitney saying, do you think BBY has finally found a bottom? So let's take a look. So this is Best Buy. And in the short term, I mean, it kind of looks like it has. In the long term, I think it really depends on what the market does over the next couple weeks, because BBY, it does look like it's found a nice support. It has touched this support in the past. About the $103 to $104 level, bounce off that same support two times in September. So it definitely has good support there. But the problem is if we see the market kind of tank down or have any sort of correction, I would not doubt if BBY continues to fall. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, for sure. And there was such a tech run up last year that it could be possible that Best Buy just is not going to be able to keep up this year the same that they did last year, just because of this run up right here. Obviously tech has been the hot thing lately, and it is getting around Christmas time. So maybe this is the bottom, and I would definitely watch out for it. I do like the level though, just because it's at pretty good levels that if you buy in and then it does fall a little bit, you can get out pretty quickly with minimal loss, depending on like what your expiration is and stuff like that.
Gotcha. With the next question, we have JB saying thoughts on Palantir. You think it will hit $35 this week? So, no, I don't think it's going to hit $35 this week. Palantir had a pretty bad day today, had a pretty bad day yesterday. The tech sector is kind of falling a little bit. And just looking at the chart, I really don't think so. Let me run a probability thing real quick. So, yeah, the options chain is only showing Palantir to have about a 4% chance of being at $35 by this week. So I really doubt that Palantir is going to be at 35.
Yeah, and just like, we've been talking about this the other day, and just like we had said, lower highs is a pretty big problem on a lot of these stocks. And right now, Palantir posted a lower high setup on this daily chart. So I'm definitely going to be looking at this possibly to the downside if it does start falling. And I just, I just like you said, there's such a small chance of it hitting 35.
Yep. With the next question, we have Patel saying, "Love your channel. What do you guys think about Baba bouncing back up soon?" So let's take a look at this. BABA. What do you think, Tom?
I think it's good as long as the U.S. China relations stay good. I think if those start to go bad, it can help. But I do like Baba in the long term, and they're a pretty good company, and they've been running up with this tech run up as well. I would almost put them in the same boat as Best Buy. They obviously don't do the same stuff, but I think that they're pretty similar in chart movement, and I think that this could possibly be a bottom for them. But it just looks like that they could possibly keep pulling back. And just like we said, if the overall market starts going down, then these stocks like Best Buy and Baba are definitely probably, well, not definitely, but they're probably going to follow the overall market.
Gotcha. So just to double check, so if the U.S. and China relations are good, what are you expecting to happen with Baba?
If they stay good, I think over the next couple months, Baba could possibly start popping back whenever all these Christmas numbers and stuff start getting reported on the next earnings. But other than that, I think if the relations end up going bad and the overall market falls, that Baba could end up falling.
Sounds good. With the next question, we have Gennaro saying, "I've been totally slacking in the comments, but great info as always, Mike and Tom. Been a hectic couple of weeks, but I can proudly say that as of this Saturday, I will officially be an MBA grad, and I'm pretty stoked. Wishing everyone a great and green day tomorrow. And one last thing, let's go stocked up." So awesome comment, and thank you so much for leaving a comment. It really helps grow the channel. With the next question, we have Christopher saying, "Great show, guys. I don't know why, but I got a weird feeling about the market. I'm holding tight until the new year, I think. Possibly grabbing a share or two of Tesla when it dips during one of these offering releases." So I kind of feel the same way. The market, we are at all-time highs right now, and then with these political tensions rising, like it's just not a good mix. But I think with Tesla, I really wouldn't doubt if we do see a dip pretty soon. With the next question, we have Brandon saying, "I have been heavy on tech stocks and looking to balance my portfolio better for 2021. Any advice?" So this is a great question, and I'm very excited that he brought this up. So tech is definitely has been the way to go this year. It was at a great discount back in March, and now it's just flying high. The problem is that it can't last forever. The tech sector is hot. It's a great sector, but the problem is I feel like a lot of people are over leveraged in it. I see people starting portfolios and they're like only buying Apple and Tesla, which historically has been doing pretty good this year, but it's always good to grab or at least have a piece of some other sectors and industries. Personally, it doesn't hurt to grab some Dow stocks. A lot of them are still trading at a discount. And even just if you just bought like the SPY ETF or VOO ETF, I also really like bank stocks. Like if we look at JP Morgan, that has a lot of ground to make up since the pandemic back in February and March. It still has a lot of room to make up. Its all-time highs were around 141. Right now it's at around 121, and it can go a lot higher too. So I would really consider looking into the financial industry and just other Dow stocks that haven't moved yet. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the banking sector is really starting to look hot, just like you said. I think that could go well. I think that possibly some other financial stocks that deal with housing could also do pretty well. Another stock I've been looking at lately is RKT, just because of how low it is. But just keep in mind, this one's a pretty risky stock. I would definitely stick to more of a safer thing like JP Morgan or Bank of America. Those two are my favorite right now. Another one that's doing pretty well is T or AT&T. They're pretty low as well, considering how high that they have been in the past. I think the AT&T is a pretty big, discount as well. So I think those are two pretty big sectors or options that I think would be a pretty good add to a portfolio.
Sounds good. Well, Tom, do you have any last-minute stocks, options, or any insight for the market for tomorrow?
Yeah, my last stock is actually going to be something I found using our new Smart Flow quant data bot, and this is actually awesome. I actually looked up the flow on AMD today, and somebody put $1 million into the 85 strike puts that expire on March 19th of 2021. So let's go look at AMD, and we can see that AMD is pretty overextended on a daily chart. They've pretty much have had very minimal pullbacks on this run to the upside, and this person just put $1 million into these puts, and they're scheduled to expire March of next year. So it's a pretty good option, I think, and I'm really going to be looking for AMD to possibly start falling. But just keep in mind, I think AMD is still a fantastic company. I just think that, stocks go up and stocks go down, and I think that if a lot of these other tech stocks start pulling back, AMD is also going to pull back, especially since they've ran up the way that they have.
Awesome insight. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'm glad Tom brought that bot up. So today, Tom and I integrated a new bot into the Discord chat. Basically, it looks at unusual options activity. It looks at basically anytime any smart money gets into any option, like with $1 million or more, you're going to get alerted about it. We can see that there's golden sweeps with Shopify, Google, Tesla, and you can even look up contracts. Like, let's say you really like Home Depot, right? And you could just look up Home Depot like Tom is right now, /flow Home Depot, and it'll tell you all of like all the big options orders that are going into that stock for the day. And you could sort it by how much money went into it. Like it's an entire scanner, and it's really cool. So if you guys want to check that out, it's the StockedUp options alerts link in the description down below. It's included in the stat modeling program, which has access to the plays that Tom and I trade every single day, as well as the machine learning robot. So check it out if you're interested. It's the StockedUp options alerts link in the description down below. And if you guys aren't subscribed already, don't forget to subscribe. Tom and I post brand new videos every single day. And if you guys have any questions, let us know in the comments down below. But other than that, thanks for watching.